Hello, girls and boys. Welcome to Storytime Fun. We hope you enjoy it.
Today's story is out of the Bible Stories for Children book, as retold by Jeffrey Horn and Arthur Kavanaugh. The Trial of Jesus. The soldiers brought Jesus to the house of Caiaphas, the high priest, where a group of powerful leaders was waiting for him. Peter followed the crowd to the high priest's courtyard, and there he waited in the shadows to see what would happen. He could not stay away from his master, but he was afraid that he would be arrested too. The night was chilly, and someone lit a fire in the middle of the courtyard. Peter went over to warm himself. One of the serving maids from the house noticed him at the fire. "You were with Jesus of Nazareth," she said. "I saw you with him." "I do not know what you are talking about," Peter answered and moved away quickly. But another woman saw him and said, "This man was with Jesus of Nazareth." "I do not know that man," Peter insisted, and again moved away. By this time, some bystanders had noticed him. "Surely you are one of the men who were with Jesus," they said. "You talk like someone from Galilee." Peter faced the angry group angrily. "I do not know the man," he snarled. And as soon as Peter said these words, a cock crowed. A chill ran through him, and he remembered Jesus' words. "Tonight, before the cock crows, you will deny me 3 times." Peter went outside and wept. During this time, the high priest was questioning Jesus. Many came forward to accuse him of crimes he had not committed, but no 2 people agreed on any crime. Throughout the questioning, Jesus kept silent. Finally, the high priest asked, "Are you the Messiah, the Son of God?" "You have said it," answered Jesus. "But I tell you this, from this time on, you will see me sitting at the right hand of God in the clouds of heaven." These words infuriated the high priest. "Do we need to hear more? This man says he is the Son of God. He shows no respect for God. This is blasphemy," shouted Caiaphas. And he ordered his men to tie Jesus up and lead him to Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor. When Judas saw Jesus being led away, he was filled with sorrow and realized what a terrible thing he had done. Quickly, he went to the priests in the temple and tried to give them back the 30 pieces of silver. "I have sinned," he said. "I have handed over a man who has done no wrong." "What does that matter to us?" said the priests. Seeing that he could not undo his awful act, Judas threw the coins on the floor of the temple and rushed out. That morning, he hanged himself. At the palace, Pilate questioned Jesus. To all the charges made against him, Jesus gave no answer. Then Pilate asked, "Are you the king of the Jews?" "My kingdom is not in this world," Jesus replied. "If it were, would my followers not fight for me?" "Then you are a king?" asked Pilate. "You have said it," Jesus answered. "I will only tell you this. I was born to bring the truth to this world. What is the truth? Asked the puzzled Pilate as he left the room. Now at that time it was the custom of the Roman governor during the Passover festival to free from prison one man chosen by the people. Among the prisoners in the Roman jail was a man named Barabbas, a murderer and a leader of riots. Pilate knew that the chief priests had brought Jesus to him because they were jealous of Jesus, and the governor thought that the people might free him. Pilate went out to the balcony of his palace and stood before the crowd, sure that the people would choose Jesus over a murderer. "Which man shall I let go, Barabbas or Jesus?" he asked. "Barabbas!" shouted the crowd, for their leaders had sent word ahead, saying which man to choose. "What shall I do with this man you call the King of the Jews?" "Crucify him!" answered the crowd. "Why?" called back Pilate. "What has he done wrong?" But the people in the courtyard were growing restless and only shouted louder, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" Afraid of what the unruly crowd might do, Pilate decided to please the people. But first he called for a bowl of water. Standing on the balcony, he washed his hands and declared, "See, my hands are clean of this man's blood." Pontius Pilate went into the palace and ordered the release of Barabbas. He then had Jesus whipped and handed him over to soldiers to be crucified. For this was the way the Romans punished dangerous criminals. Well, that's it for today. We'll see you next time.